And I actually believe that betas change through time. I also believe that using 5 years of data and kind of shifting the window forward in time is not the optimal way to let the beta change through time. And I've established actually a whole research program based upon estimating dynamic risk functions. And if you choose to take my second-year elective on global tactical asset allocation, I go into great detail as to how to implement these models with shifting risk. But for the purpose of the introductory course, and for the purpose of maybe 95% of practitioners out there, this is kind of the standard model. It's called a rolling window type of estimation of the beta. So this is how to get a beta or the sensitivity or the factor loading. And then what we usually do is to take some estimate of what the expected excess return on the market should be. Now, I've told you about the time frame in terms of the 5 years. I've told you about the frequency of the data, so I recommend monthly. What about the market portfolio? What is the market portfolio? Well, as I said, the standard type of analysis in the U.S. would take the excess return on some security, regress on the excess return on, let's say, the S&P 500. People don't usually use the Dow Jones because there's only 30 stocks. It's not really a diversified portfolio. It represents a lot of market capitalization, but it is not a diversified portfolio. So people don't usually use that. And the S&P 500 also is not my first choice in terms of a market portfolio, because it is really just 500 of the largest stocks. I think that there's some benefit to putting in the other 4,500 stocks. So an index like the Wilshire Index, or some other indices that are a little broader, I think are preferred to the Standard & Poor's 500. Nevertheless, those are two market indices. But this is a course in global financial management. So really, from my perspective and the perspective of my research, the beta should be estimated against a world portfolio. And the standard benchmark here is the Morgan Stanley Capital International World Portfolio. And this is a portfolio that includes stocks from about 30 countries. It is a diversified, value-weighted portfolio that I think is a better benchmark than a U.S. portfolio. And the key word here is really benchmark. Because if you think about it, I say that investors should hold diversified portfolios. And that does not imply diversified portfolios 100% in the U.S. In my opinion, to hold a quote-unquote diversified U.S. portfolio is not holding a diversified portfolio. It is called taking a bet on the United States. While it's true that the U.S. stock market is the largest stock market in the world, commanding close to 40% of world capitalization, it is not the only market in the world. Hence, the beta should be calculated against a broader portfolio that's diversified across securities and diversified across national borders. And the Morgan Stanley Capital International World Market Return is, in my opinion, the portfolio of choice to use as a benchmark. So now we've got the frequency, we've got the time interval, we've got the benchmark. We've got all of the ingredients necessary to implement the capital asset pricing model and derive expected excess returns for any security in the world.